So let's head back to the apartment here, and I'm just going to double check to see if we have any new messages. Because we have. Let's see. All work and no play from Cortez. Shepard, now that we've got a little downtime on the Citadel, I wanted to share something with you. I'm taking the shuttle down to the Silver Sun Strip. Meet me there. Exactly. So I think we needed to check in with Cortez over there at the bar, in Purgatory that is, in order for him to truly be available to meet up with us here as well. And so that is why wanted to make sure we made a point of chatting with Steve one more time. Because that's definitely one of the ones that I feel like could be pretty easy to miss. He's at the Rabbit Transit, okay? Alright, we'll wait for Cortez here, I suppose.
Welcome aboard, Shepard.
So where are we going?
Activating external cameras.
I didn't know this shuttle had virtual windows.
Bet there's more you don't know about this bird.
What's that supposed to mean?
Before Mass Effect fields, there was no such thing as inertial dampeners.
Yeah?
Here, feel this.
Whoa!
That, my friend, is unadulterated momentum. Want to really feel it?
You know, okay, I guess so, Steve, if you insist.
Show me.
Cortez.
You see? Doesn't take much to pull a few G's.
Cortez, was that really necessary?
G-suits. It squeezes your body so that the blood stays in your head in tight maneuvers. I'd wear a G-suit when flying my Trident. In a fighter, it's common to transfer power from the inertial dampeners to other systems.
You miss flying fighters? Can't imagine you're too thrilled to be flying a shuttle.
Hell no. I'm not just any shuttle pilot. I'm your shuttle pilot. Wouldn't have it any other way. When you're on the ground, weapon in hand, you're invincible. But when we're approaching an LZ, you're just another soldier. Vulnerable. Nothing you can do if we're shot down. Getting you to the ground alive is a responsibility I wouldn't trust to anyone else.
I mean, maybe Joker. Joker could probably... That'd be pretty cruel. Here he is, being all vulnerable with us, like, Shepard, I know you kind of just dissed my job and everything, but I wouldn't trade it for anything else. Oh yeah, by the way, you're not all that special, I'm sorry. Brutal. Absolutely brutal, no. Now, we'll be kind. We'll be kind.
I'm fortunate to have you, Steve.
Anytime, Shepard.
Alright. So that was us checking back in with Cortez. And not any additional sign of friends here after that. I mean, seems like every time we go back to our apartment now, though, we're getting another message from another teammate of some variety. So maybe it's worth trying it one more time. We have a message. As I was saying, it feels like every time we go back to the apartment, we have at least one new message. So it pays to be thorough. It pays to double check sometimes. Let's see what it is. Biotiball Goodwill Games from Cortez. Shepard, the Seattle Sorcerers are taking on the Usaru Maestros in the Biotiball game. Should be epic. It's not the Seattle Sounders. You recently acquired an apartment with a sweet vid screen. Coincidence? James and I don't think so. You provide the couch, and we'll provide the refreshments. Just let us know. Alright. I don't think we've invited James in. And obviously we just met up with Cortez there, but no, I don't think we've had any sort of one-on-one meetings with James at all, whether they be in the apartment or the Silver Sun Strip elsewhere. So, sure. I mean, technically it's listed as Cortez here, but it sounds like it may be a combination of Cortez and James. So let's do it.
Sorry we're late. Somebody forgot to pick up the cerveza.
Come on in.
He doesn't take it that hard if we say Joker could do it too.
So when's the game?
It's about to start.
Seattle Sorcerers versus Usaru Maestros. Gonna be some intense Biotiball.
Nah, it's just a goodwill game for troop morale. They'll take it easy.
Hopefully they'll play hard.
In the middle of a war with their troops watching, they'll give it their all.
Absolutely. Have you guys seen Derek Rogers' game lately? Man,
Oh, totally.
The Sorcerers have been tearing it up.
I totally know what
Esteban,
Biotiball is.
The Maestros don't lose. Have you seen Tyra Tassanis play? The woman is blue lightning.
Mr. Vega, your love of the Asari team has more to do with how they look than how they play.
Hey, that's not true. Not entirely. Besides, you telling me you don't got the hots for some of the sorcerers?
Okay. Guilty as charged. Who you backing, Shepard?
So the sorcerers are from Seattle, presumably Seattle, Earth. So they're humans, not so surprisingly. The Maestros are apparently a bunch of Asari. I don't know. Help me out.
I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
The Seattle Sorcerers are one of the few human b-ball teams left. I mean, they were on tour when Earth was hit. Since acquiring Donna Novotny from the hackers, they've been completely unstoppable.
Yeah, but most of the Maestros have been playing since before first contact. They'll win this.
I know the Sorcerers have never beaten the Maestros, but they've never been this hungry either. So, Shep, who's it gonna be?
Ooh, okay. Is it the... Wait, you said the sorcerers have never beaten the Maestros, but the sorcerers are supposedly unbeatable right now? So both teams are unbeatable? Super experienced Asari versus the humans who are just on a hot streak at the moment? I don't know. I don't know. Go with, I mean, presumably, since it's called Biotiball, it has something to do with biotics, and so, generally speaking, Asari do have stronger biotics than humans, although, or at least all Asari have some access to biotics, whereas humans, it's not always the case. On the high end of biotic capability, I suppose, maybe the top human biotics can still match up with the top Asari biotics. I mean, think of someone like Jack, of course. So... Go with the Geth Reapers? Excuse me. Pick one. The Geth totally did not name their team the Reapers. The Geth Unintentionals? Maybe. The Reaper Indoctrinators? Maybe. But definitely not the Geth Reapers. So, and I feel like on one hand, the humans, it's kind of like rooting for our home team, home species, whereas the Asari, I feel like it's a little more interesting. I don't know. Sure, we'll do humans.
You don't bet against the home team.
Mr. Vega, I hope you're hungry for humble pie. When has our commander ever been wrong?
Come on, man. The game's...
Possibly right now. We're about to find out.
Mierda, he was out!
Excuse me, James. Language.
Yes, they did it! Now pay up.
Hey, why didn't you let me in on the betting?
We weren't exactly betting on who'd win.
We were
Oh?
betting on if you'd pick the winner.
Oh.
And everyone knows you don't bet against Shepard.
Anyway, it was a hell of a game.
Yeah, great evening. Thank you, Shepard.
My pleasure.
Tomorrow comes early. Hasta luego.
The Keeper Janitor's true. Actually true. That'd be my team. Or the the Vorcha Vandals. Although they, for the most part, Vorcha don't really have access to biotics, but you know what? They're gonna try. They're gonna try. The Vorcha Vandals are officially my team. Alright, and I mean... Do we have any more messages? At this point, I would assume the answer is probably no. But then again, this is usually lighting up when we have a message. So, I'm pretty sure we don't have anyone else to meet up with here, at least. There's one more person that I don't remember if we met up with them or not when we were perusing the Silver Sun strip on an earlier occasion. The Hanar Hooligans. Also, that'd probably be my number 2 right there. That's my backup team. When the Vorcha Vandals don't make the playoffs, when they get eliminated from the tournament, I fall back on the Hanar Hooligans.
Really? Why exactly?
Why exactly? Because obviously, the Hanar with their many limbs are especially good. So I want to just do another quick double check here at the casino/bar. Just to make absolutely certain that we have met with everyone that we can meet with. Because yes, there is in fact one more person we can wait for here, that being Rex, who may be the only squad mate, past or present, who we have not yet met with at some points in time on the Silver Sun Strip or in a more personalized apartment meeting.
Rex? What are you doing here?
Escaping. Ever since we cured the genophage, it's been nothing but work.
Council been riding you?
Bah! Not those hijack shit slingers. No, it's the female Shepard. Now that they're fertile again. Oh, I haven't slept in I don't know how long.
Rex?
Can I get you two anything?
2 more drinks. And another bag of ice.
So it's not going well for you post-genophage? Surprisingly?
I would have thought you'd be enjoying the perks of Krogan fertility.
Enjoying it? There's a line of females outside my dwelling right now. Stretches on for as far as you can see. I had to sneak out my own bathroom window. Even then, I was cornered by 2 more females on the ride from Tuchanka.
Do you try to go through the window
It's
like
just
Run?
you? They're not spreading the love around?
Sure, but everyone wants their firstborn in generations to be strong and fit. I'm the leader of Clan Erdnot. I brought an end to the genophage. Everyone on Tuchanka wants a piece of me. And Bakar is no help at all. She encourages it.
Oh.
I'm telling you, Shepard, I'm in no shape to fight Reapers.
Rex, he's so down. It's the most, it's the saddest we've ever seen Rex. I mean, it could be worse. It could definitely still be worse.
Considering everything we've been through, I can think of worse positions to be in.
Trust me, I've been in every position in the past few days.
Alright, too much, Rex.
Here are your drinks. And a bag of ice.
Another joins your ranks.
Share! Thanks so much for the gifted subs. How's it going, buddy?
Another joins your ranks.
And I thought Morden's procedure was painful. Oh well.
Another joins your ranks.
Shit, Shepard. We sure have been through it, haven't we?
Another
going.
joins your ranks.
True. Well, here's to us. And to going through it.
Another joins
drink to
your
that.
ranks.
Biotiball. It means victory or death, roughly.
Ah, but you can't die, Rex. You've got a family now. A really big family.
Oh, man.
More ice.
Rex. Good thing we stuck around and got the chance to meet up with him as well, because as I was saying, I think that is the last squad mate for us to meet up with here. In fact, the bar is just no longer even set up anymore. The bartender has left. But yeah, we are, of course, playing some Mass Effect 3 Legendary Edition, and we are wrapping things up here on the Citadel, and specifically the Silver Sun Strip area, and even more specifically than that, the casino / bar, because I think we have now met with absolutely everybody, and in some cases, as we saw, you may meet up with somebody once, in some cases you might meet up with somebody in one place, then meet up with them again in a different set of circumstances elsewhere later on, but I'm pretty sure that we've now met with everyone as many times as we can meet them, and many very entertaining conversations as well. So it was, I think, definitely worth it. Definitely worth it as well. So, let's see. I mean, I suppose, given how, as we were saying before, most of the time, our way of knowing if there was somebody to catch up with was by going to our apartment and seeing if we had an email message, and every time we went to our apartment, we seemed to get a new email message saying there was someone else who wanted to talk to us. We might as well do what is what now, like a quadruple check? Everyone says Rex is super old, and he is old, but he hasn't grown his horns out like Drac, so I don't think he's as old as some think. He's definitely several hundred years old. I think I've heard people say, I want to say something on the order of like 400 or 500, but don't quote me on that. And I'm not sure what their source material for that is, but I think there were some conversations occasionally that we've heard Rex mention that, you know, he was in a certain place or spoke to a certain person, where if we cross-reference that with what we know about that other person or that other location, we can figure out that, okay, you know, the only way he could have been there at that time was if he was several hundred years old. I think that he's around 750 or more. I think 400 to 500 is closer based on the time away from Tuchanka and stuff. Yeah, oh, that's a good, yeah. Maybe the best metric would be to look at the timing of the Krogan rebellions and comments that Rex made in and around those to understand what role, if any, he played in that. He's been around since First Contact Wars. I mean, First Contact War was actually very recent, right? That's, like, of all the things in the Mass Effect history, it's kind of alarming, but First Contact War was only, like, a few decades ago, right? Whereas other big things that we hear people talking about a lot, like the Krogan rebellions, the deployment of the genophage, and that might have been a little more... No, even that, I think, was at least a couple hundred years ago. What are other big things? Like, obviously, the Rachni Wars came before that, because that was sort of the issue that eventually led to the Krogan rebellions. So that was, yeah, several hundred, maybe even 1,000 years ago. But, you know, many of the other things, the big galactic events that we hear about, happened well before the First Contact War. So that's actually, I mean, humans, you hear it a lot in Mass Effect 1. It kind of, you don't hear it nearly as often in Mass Effect 2 or Mass Effect 3, but in Mass Effect 1, people talk a lot about how humans just showed up one day and just extremely rapidly established themselves on the Citadel and the galactic community and became a real power player at a pace at which made other species like the Volus, like the Elcor, shake their heads and go, come on, we've been waiting for hundreds of years to have our opportunity to, for example, have a seat on the council. And then the humans show up, and after like a decade, they're trying to make their claim for a council seat, and The other species are like, you clearly do not deserve it. You just showed up here, and yet humans, in that short amount of time, have established a very significant presence in the galaxy, so much so that by Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, sometimes you just forget that, oh yeah, humans are still incredibly new to the galactic scene. Don't think he was around when the genophage was first deployed. Yeah, I'd have to brush up on it as well. Alright, so I think... just looking at other places here to see if there's anything else that we could theoretically still be missing out on here. I mean, I think it's mostly just Presidium Commons if there is anything else that we feel like we still want to buy. But I don't really think that's the case, because on several occasions we've gone back through and said, okay, we have a little more money here. Perhaps this time around we'd be even more lenient with the things that we determine are worth purchasing. We have more credits to spare. But I think we're just heading back to the Normandy now. I think we're ready to go. Alright, so we're back in the Normandy. And at this stage, we mostly... we have a couple of quests that are going to haunt us for the rest of our lives, where we miss them on Omega. Sad face. But more importantly, we have the Cerberus headquarters, which is the next main quest mission. The Elusive Man headquarters have been located, and the Alliance is prepared to attack and recover the Prothean VI that holds the key to the Catalyst. Once the attack is launched, the Alliance will be fully committed to the final fight against the Reapers. Assault the base when ready. So, as I think we were saying when we first got this mission showing up here, it's, I mean, it states it somewhat plainly here, but just to make it even more plain, yes, this is the point of no return. So that's why we're trying to be super thorough with things like making sure that we talk to everybody at the Silver Sun Strip and at our apartments. Doing a whole bunch of arena runs to get money to do weapon upgrades and buy more weapons and more weapon mods. Because we're not going to have time to do those things in just a matter of moments. So that is why we wanted to make sure that we took the time to do that stuff right. Okay. Anything else? Anything else? I mean, Codex. Probably not in this occasion, although that is where a lot of that source material for things like how long ago was the First Contact War, or how long ago was the Krogan Rebellions, and so on and so forth. A lot of that might come from that type of source, but alas, I think we're ready here. Unless we have, I suppose we can jump back down to the shuttle bay to see if there are any other weapons we want to upgrade. But that's another thing that we made a point of checking fairly recently. We've, slightly more monies? We're on just shy of 60,000. We've upgraded the high priority weapons. We've upgraded some of the sort of medium priority weapons as well. Is there anything else that clearly is still worth investing a little bit of monies in? And I suppose this is a minor spoiler, but for New Game Plus, you do maintain the credits that you finish the game with, and you do start the game with access to all the weapons that you acquired, and so, you know, investing in things now means we'll have the upgraded guns for New Game Plus, if that is ever something that we're interested in checking out. And it also means that if we don't want to spend the money now, then we have more money available to us at the start of a New Game Plus. So, I mean, there are a few decent weapons remaining here. There are still some somewhat interesting ones, but I think, you know, all the really big ones, I think we have successfully upgraded to the extent that we can upgrade them at this stage. I suppose here we can see if there's anything, all in one place, we can see if there's anything still worth acquiring. Anything remaining. Kishok is a meme-y weapon, but it is something that we would theoretically pick up if we'd like to. Lots of Omni Blades for melee damage, not super relevant for us, but we did spec our, Rex, Grunt, and I forget if we spec anyone else for melee damage. But I mean, obviously those are exclusively arena squad mates, and so we don't really have much of a need for those types of mods right now. There. Magazine upgrades. Assault rifle stability. Spare clips. Model ships. Pistol cranial trauma, like, depending on what pistol you're using. If you're planning on using the suppressor, then yes. Could be very nice, but still not sure that's worth investing in when that's not really a weapon that we're planning to use all that much. Ultralight, also not super relevant, for us at least. Oh, that's the same one. It's still the... What? Why does it keep on resetting us here? I'm messing with my brain. Supertine scopes, meh. LCOS Combine, mostly just ships and more ultralights. See, I'm not seeing anything that jumps out as things that we would still really need. Well, thanks for the offer, Legion Grey, but no worry. Oh,
Hey there.
almost forgot about you. All right, I think we're ready to head back up. And at this point,
Commander?
I think we have well and truly done everything that we can do before we look to do the point of no return here. So we should save just in case. Just in case, but I think it is full speed ahead from here on out. Okay, so if we head out from the Citadel, what we will find is, I suppose we can also see if there are any locations that we've not explored in their entirety, but we were quite thorough with that a very long time ago. And so I think all that stuff should be pretty well accounted for. Shadow Sea does not have anything. I remember that Kepler Verge, we were checking this out and there wasn't anything to explore, but might there be something missing in the Shadow Sea there? That might be worth a quick check, because I don't remember that one that well. That might be a recent addition of sorts. Ninma Cluster, I know there's not anything here. This is where we had the Krogan team mission, and we scanned it extensively and just found that there isn't anything there for whatever reason. Anything else that does not say 100%? There are some of the homeworld areas as well, like the Anos Basin where the Solarians are from, that I think we scanned and found there wasn't anything there. But I mean, maybe. Again, given how last chance to do this stuff, maybe it's worth just the quickest of double checks here. We passed up on this many times before, so I'm hoping there's not anything here. Otherwise, we will look kind of silly, I'm afraid. And it appears as though Reapers do not have any interest in this area, so we can scan to our heart's content, and that's probably why we were able to say with a fair bit of confidence that we didn't think we were going to find anything here, because if we just scan every square inch of the system, then yeah, I'm pretty sure there's nothing here. So, okay. That one we can definitely check off then. The question is Shadow Sea, and this one I'm not as certain about. This one, there may legitimately be something here that we just missed out on, because I don't remember this one. Okay. What was the deal here? Watchmen? Did we have a mission on one of these planets? Horizon. Ah, this is where Horizon was. Okay. I see. I see. which, once again, whenever you have a big mission in a system, that means the Reapers will not invade that system. So, in theory, that means we probably checked this place extensively, much like we did for our mission when we were going to Surkesh and the other system we were just looking in. And so, if we didn't find anything here previously, that means we're probably not going to find anything now, and we have definitely scanned every square inch, so I think that means that I know for certain Inma does not have anything, because I remember that we scanned that extensively, same with Kepler Verge. So, I think we're done. I think we are done, and that means we are ready to head to the Horsehead Nebula, which is apparently the place where the Elusive Man's base is. Of course, we've seen him give us the hologram messages many times before. We ever met him in person? Or has it every single time just been via hologram? It's certainly the vast majority, but maybe once or twice, but I might be making that up. We might have quite literally never seen him in person. Right, still wish they said 100% even on the areas that don't have any things in them. That way you don't go crazy asking yourself, did I miss something? Did I miss something? Let's see. So, speaking of scanning stuffs. Oh! I mean, Horsehead Nebula is where Novaria is. We've definitely been here before. Because we had a mission on Novaria. But it is not in this area. It's over in the Anadeus cluster. Or system, I should say. So the Elusive Man's base is over here. So, okay, we're on full fuel. I was going to say it has been so long since we last actually drove the Normandy around that wasn't exactly sure what number we were going to have there, but I'm pretty sure, as we've determined previously, it resets after all the big missions, so we're fine there. So, Chrono Station is apparently the Elusive Man's base. We do have this asteroid belt around here. Maybe we just do a quick trip around. See if we hear any boops of assets that we might pick up. And once again, since this is an area that has a mission in it, the Reapers will not invade, so if we'd like to, we can just go crazy and scan non-stop. Maybe even interior of the asteroid belt. But, I mean, usually if there's something that is not directly on a planet, it's just a fuel source, and that's, it's not all that necessary when, as we were just saying, we aren't doing a whole lot of driving around in the Normandy, and we usually get our fuel stock refilled after finishing a big mission. So, I think that means it's time to go. So here is Chrono Station, the Mala Red Supergiant. Is it Mia? It looks like an L, not an I. Anadeus is a minor footnote on the star maps of the Horsehead Nebula, a cold, dying star about 20 solar masses and 1,500 times Sol's radius. Not listed on any charts, an unobtrusive space station is nearly imperceptible in the star's periodic bursts of solar output, which explains how the Elusive Man would somehow manage to have a base here and not get discovered because, you know, he is running a terrorist organization that is something that certainly many of the council races, the council in general, would probably like to see shut down. But, so it's this big star that helps to obscure the station, and it is in an area that people just don't seem to care much about because the star is dying, and there is an asteroid belt, but no planets here, so why bother? Okay. EDI's advisory. The size and shape of the station suggest many ships could dock in it. Precise measurements would require active scans, which could reveal the Normandy's presence. Given the stakes, this level of accuracy is not recommended. Alright, so it's the Starforge. So this is it. This is Chrono Station. the Cerberus headquarters, and I think that means, given how we have done everything that we are planning to do here, and this is, as we previously stated, the point of no return, let's land.
Shepard, the intel you sent looks good. The fleets are ready to go.
But
Once we're committed against Cerberus, it won't be long before the Reapers take notice.
and the Crucible?
Ready? Except for the catalyst. But there's no way to hide the ships we'll be sending at Cerberus. Once we attack, the Crucible won't stay safe for long. For all intents and purposes, an assault on Cerberus will be the first stage of our attack on Earth.
And that is why this is functionally the point of no return. What if we're trying to find the catalyst here to find what it takes to jumpstart the Crucible, but what if we fail?
What happens if Cerberus doesn't have the intel we need? Or they stop us from getting it?
Then we leave the fleets to Earth and we take our chances. But your intel points to Cerberus and the elusive man holding the information we're looking for. And we have the element of surprise. Cerberus won't know what hit him.
We're out elusiving the elusive man? Is that how this works? Okay, so fortunately the game does give you one last opportunity here after saying it very clearly to you, this is the point of no return. If you forgot about something, you can say, hold on, let's wait, let's go back and do something else. So if, for example, you have side quests that you've not yet completed, you want to buy more stuff, you want to upgrade more stuff, you want to chat more with your squad mates, that's the kind of thing that you want to make sure you do. But if you've done all of that, then perhaps, like we find ourselves right now, you will be ready to go.
The Reapers and Cerberus started this. Now we're gonna end it.
I'll get the fleets mobilized.
It's going to take a few more hours for the fleets to mobilize. I hate the waiting. I've been trying to find ways to pass the time.
Come up with anything good?
I thought maybe you could use some company tonight.
I suppose so. We need to bury Jenkins. Oh man, we need to go back to get Arya's count true. I don't think it's possible though. I don't think it's possible. I mean, if we could, it'd be great. Because I did miss it. But alas, we could not. And Jenkins, I mean, we did go back to Eden Prime, but I don't think we saw him. I forget if there's actually any sign of where Jenkins went down on Eden Prime. I suppose it's possible. But as for Tally here, and much like the case for really any of the other Mass Effect games, 1 and 2, before that final push toward the end of the game, you have the chance to spend a little bit of time with those who you care about most.
Will you stay here with me? Until the call comes?
For as long as you want.
Oh. Okay, and we have ourselves in another one of our nightmare sequences, and actually, some people were talking about the ending a little while ago, and I alluded to some of these things before. But I think I'm going to be a little more upfront about it now. So, the ending of Mass Effect 3 is very controversial. There are those who say that it falls short, if you take it at surface level. However, perhaps there is more to it than just that. Take a look at all these shadows, the whispers, and the boy that just seems to haunt us like a ghost. The kid again.
Hey,
You okay?
my system has adapted. No more negative reaction to you anymore. That's how we survive.
Is it how we survive? Adapting?
To a cold or interspecies contact, yes. To the Reapers, no. You're doing the right thing. You've assembled the largest military force in history. Nobody could have done more.
But is it enough? Yeah, unfortunately not a lot of time to talk about the kid just yet, but there will be a time when we will discuss that in much, much greater detail. And we will discuss the ending and everything that builds up around it in greater detail. Over the course of our entire playthrough from the start of Mass Effect 1, on occasion I have highlighted some very specific things where I've said, remember that. Keep that in the back of your mind. And we'll call back some of those things as they become relevant once again. But let's just say there's another thing that has been hinted at throughout the course of our playthrough that perhaps adds another layer, dimension even, to the conclusion of not only Mass Effect 3, but really the entire trilogy. So we'll talk more about that later on. But after assembling the largest force in history, but is it still enough to take out the Reapers? Of course, they're really the ones that seem to be holding all the firepower here.
We've lost so much already. Sometimes
You don't know if what'll be left was worth the fight. I know. And when I feel that way, I reach for you.
Thanks.
Whenever you need me.